Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel called The Movie Vault. My name is Rob. Let's talk about movies. In today's video, we are going to rank the entire Alien franchise. The Alien franchise has been going strong since 1979. It's 40 plus years as of making this video, the date of making this video. 8 movies overall. We're going to look at the original 4 movies, the 2 AVP kind of sidetrack movies, and the 2 Ridley Scott prequels, if you want to call them that. So let's get into the video. So before we get into the actual ranking part of the video here, I just want to remind you guys that this is just for fun. This is my list. You don't have to agree with the list, the ranking. It's not the correct list. Everybody's list is the correct list. It's your opinion that matters. So let me know in the comments down below, what is your ranking of these 8 Alien movies? Let's get into the ranking. So coming in at number 8 on my ranking here is AVP Requiem 2008. This one is from, the loose plot of this one is it continues off from where AVP Alien vs Predator, the first movie, kind of left off. This one immediately picks up. We'll discuss the first movie here in this video, of course, in a couple of moments time. But basically the kind of mixture of the alien and the predator, the pred alien as it's called in this movie, has kind of escaped. It's headed back to Earth and a predator has been sent to kind of track it down, hunt it, kill it, stop it. The pred alien kind of arrives in this small town and the people who live in the small town are kind of thrown into the madness of this movie. The good, here's what I liked about this movie. The directors, the brothers Strauss as they're called, they went right for the kill, right for the throat. They have a kid who has a face hugger kind of getting them at the start of the movie. You have a pregnant woman who gets attacked and killed by aliens. It was no holds barred for these guys on this one, AVP Requiem. The fight between the pred alien and the predator at the kind of power plant was a really cool action scene, action sequence. I really enjoyed that in this movie as well. Another thing I liked about AVP Requiem, we're going to see basically from Aliens all the way through, with the exception of the 2 Ridley Scott prequels. Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff Jr. are the 2 guys who designed the Alien and designed the Predator for these AVP movies, and I like their designs. They're kind of true to the original. They changed some things here and there for the filmmakers at the time, but these guys having a continuity between the different movies in the franchise is an overall plus for me. The bad, here's what I didn't like about AVP Requiem. The kind of teen subplot in there, it was pointless. I guess it was trying to get me to like the characters or root for the characters, and I didn't at all. Didn't care for any of the characters. As they were getting killed off, it meant nothing to me at all. No mercy whatsoever from me on this one. There was one scene later on in the movie where the pred alien kind of seems afraid of like regular bullets. They have a kind of machine gun and they shoot at it, and it kind of seems to kind of cower away, which I didn't kind of understand. So it's afraid of regular bullets, but it's not afraid of the predator kind of shoulder laser gun, because it kind of takes direct hits from that during the movie. Kind of didn't make sense to me in the overall kind of scheme of the movie. One thing I didn't like about the finale of the movie is the small town is going to get nuked by the army. Let's destroy everything in sight. A couple of survivors have managed to get on a helicopter, and somehow this helicopter manages to avoid the nuke blast. It kind of crashes, but everybody kind of gets out alive. A little bit unbelievable for my liking at the end of AVP Requiem. Coming in at number 7 on my ranking here is Alien Covenant from 2017. This is the kind of continuation of Ridley Scott's exploration of the alien origins that he began in 2012's Prometheus, which again we'll talk about in a couple of minutes here in this video. So this one, Alien Covenant, kind of deals with a ship of colonists on their way to the new planet. Once again, they get a kind of a rogue transmission. It turns out it's David and Dr. Shaw from Prometheus. Has kind of sent out this kind of rogue transmission. They go to investigate and a sinister plot is revealed thereafter. The good, let's talk about what I liked about Alien Covenant. It's a really nice continuation of the story, the exploration that Ridley Scott began in Prometheus. I really like that. The Covenant ship is really cool looking. I didn't care for the kind of giant sails on it, but overall the ship is really cool looking. I really like the score of this one, Alien Covenant. It kind of echoes the original score by Jerry Goldsmith in 1979's Alien and kind of rings true really nicely in this one. The kind of platform ship kind of rescue towards the end of the movie is a really cool kind of action sequence, kind of set piece within the movie. Really enjoyed that one, really well done. Once again, we get kind of echoes back to Aliens from 1986 with the kind of loading bay kind of finale, false finish there. Really interesting, another really good action sequence here towards the end of Alien Covenant. Let's talk about the bad for Alien Covenant. The CG aliens, I don't understand. why they're CG aliens. I know in the making of there is some kind of practical alien stuff in there, but the CG aliens still look terrible. There's these kind of white looking aliens, and I think they just look ridiculous early on in the movie. Another thing I didn't like about Alien Covenant is we get fully formed aliens, like chest bursting out of the Covenant crew after the facehuggers get them. I'm not too sure what that was about. It kind of messes with the kind of origins of the franchise here, I guess, and I wasn't too sure what that was about. It's something I didn't like them messing with. I prefer the original kind of evolution of the alien, should we say. Overall, I didn't like the whole kind of final reveal, the finale of Alien Covenant. So Ridley Scott's whole point of making Prometheus and Alien Covenant is to kind of explore the origins of the alien, the original alien, as we've seen in 1979's movie. It's all kind of revealed that ultimately the android David from Prometheus kind of like fancies himself as a biologist or something, I guess, and kind of messes around with the kind of little pathogen thing that is kind of creates the aliens, and he basically engineers the kind of facehuggers and the eggs and all that stuff. And I just kind of didn't like that as a kind of a plot point or a kind of end of story arc over these two movies. I just preferred Alien. You didn't know what this was and it was going to kill you. I thought that was better. The unknown was better than the known in this one. Coming in at number 6 here on my ranking is 1997's Alien Resurrection. Kind of a loose plot of this one is Ripley is brought back to life by a DNA sample they found on the site of the events of Alien 3 to kind of replicate, I guess, Ripley in an effort to get the kind of alien queen embryo that was inside Ripley at the end of Alien 3. Let's talk about the good for Alien Resurrection here. I like the general idea and the plot of the movie. It was good. The company still wants the alien, wants the xenomorph as a weapon, but it just ultimately didn't deliver for me in this one. Sigourney Weaver is back, which is really cool to see always. It's kind of annoying when they replace actors, you know, in movies, so I'm glad she done this one. I'm a big fan of Winona Ryder, so it was really cool to see her in this one, but otherwise, yeah, there's nothing else good to say about this movie. The bad. Let's talk about the bad for Alien Resurrection. The characters. I just didn't care for the characters. I kind of felt like they were trying to recreate the crew of the original Alien in Alien Resurrection. And it just didn't work for me at all. I did not care for any of those characters at all in this one. This movie tries to be funny at times. Tries to be too funny, too clever. And it's just terrible. It just does not work at all. There's also some really, really bad dialogue in the movie. Absolutely terrible, this one. Heading into the finale of the movie, I didn't like the alien-human hybrid creature, whatever that was. I think it looked really, really bad. I didn't like it at all. The whole end of the movie is terrible. It looks terrible. The CG, you know, it's that late 90s, early digital kind of visual effects stuff, and it just looks really, really bad. And it's obvious that it's just kind of visual effects, green screen stuff or whatever, and it just looks bad overall. Coming in at number 5 here on my ranking is Prometheus from 2012. So Ridley Scott goes back and he is going to explore the origins of Alien, the kind of giant space jockey thing we've seen in the first movie Alien, and kind of explore the origins of that kind of character, that creature, whatever you want to call it. Let's talk about the things I liked from Prometheus. It's a beautifully shot movie. It absolutely looks fantastic, Prometheus. I really like the kind of eel alien, I'm going to call it here, with kind of wrapping around the arm and the arm breaking scene. It was really kind of terrifying, really, really cool looking. Charlize Theron's character Vickers with a flamethrower when the kind of infected crew are coming back to the ship and she is not letting them on. Vickers takes a stand and she has her flamethrower and she's like, nobody's getting back onto this ship. I thought that was a really, really cool scene. Let's talk about the bad for Prometheus. Basically, there's no alien involved in this movie at all, which was kind of a disappointment. But I guess we kind of get the origins of the space jockey kind of that creature, that kind of race. That was really cool to see. But ultimately, no real alien involved in this one. The crew on the ship, too many cooks involved in the ship, in the mission. Everybody thinks they're in charge. There's no cohesion in the team. Everyone's kind of has their own agenda and everyone's just kind of out for themselves, which I didn't kind of like overall in this movie. Another thing I didn't like about Prometheus here is the kind of alien that has impregnated Shaw, I guess, when she kind of removes it in the kind of med pod thing. It kind of just grows because it's kind of left there, and in the finale of the movie it's just a giant squid. As I mentioned, no alien involved in this one really, and a little bit of a disappointment there for me. Coming in at number 4 is 2004's AVP, Alien vs Predator. Really cool movie here. The kind of loose plot of this one is Wayland, the kind of corporation, they have a satellite which kind of detects heat up in the Antarctic. They set off on a mission to kind of discover what this is, and they uncover a war between the aliens and the predators. Let's talk about the good for AVP. The general premise of this movie is cool. For years, people wanted to see aliens versus predators. We get it in this movie, AVP here, of course. Really, really cool. The kind of ever-changing configuration of the pyramid that they're in is a really, really cool concept in the movie. Keeps it changing, keeps everybody guessing. I really like that in the movie. Let's talk about the bad here. What I didn't like about AVP is every Predator movie we've seen beforehand, and some of the ones we will see after AVP here, is that the Predators were always attracted to the heat. The jungle, LA is overheated. In Predators, it's a jungle again. So I can't understand why they've kind of changed that concept in AVP to the Antarctic here. It was really, really confusing, and a kind of a side turn that I didn't really like overall in the movie here. Another thing I didn't like in AVP was, if I'm understanding the whole kind of plot of the movie here, is that predators have kind of built this pyramid under the ground, under the ice, up in the Antarctic. They've kind of chained up this queen alien to produce eggs, to produce facehuggers, to produce aliens, so the predators can go on their kind of ritualistic hunt to hunt down aliens. It's a little bit out there. Last thing I didn't like about AVP, I am not a big fan of humans teaming up with predators. I don't like it. It's happened in movies after the fact here, after this one, AVP in 2004. I do not like it at all. And yeah, that's as much as I can say on that one, guys. I don't like it. Not a fan of it at all. Coming in at number 3 here on my ranking is 1992's Alien 3. David Fincher's directorial debut. A loose plot here is Ripley's kind of emergency pod has crash landed on this prisoner planet. Hicks and Newt have died in the process. A facehugger is involved, and there's an alien on the loose once again. Let's talk about the good, what I liked about Alien 3. This movie is not without its issues, and I understand that, but I've always been a fan of this movie. I think it has its own unique look, its own unique style. Compared to, at the time, Alien and Aliens, I think it's a really kind of unique film, could stand on its own, and I'm a big fan of this movie. The dog alien, I really love the idea of the dog alien, the kind of concept of whatever the facehugger kind of gets involved with the kind of human, or the kind of the buffalo kind of thing, whatever it is, you kind of get that style of alien. That was a really, really cool concept in this one. Speaking of the alien, the kind of Steadicam work as the POV of the alien was really, really cool. They do these kind of upside down flips from the ceiling, the alien running along the ceiling. There's some really great kind of cinematography in Alien 3 here. The ending of Alien 3, I really like it. Now, there's 2 different cuts of the movie. There's the theatrical cut and there's the kind of 2003 special edition cut. So depending on which one you watch, you're going to get a different ending. But the ending I liked was from the theatrical cut, where Ripley is basically, she has an alien queen embryo in her. She's going to kill herself. It's such a final ending to the franchise, to the movie. The kind of queen chest burster comes through. As she grabs it, she's kind of fallen into the kind of fire pit kind of thing, I guess, the ironworks, whatever it is, in Alien 3. It was such a kind of final ending. Ripley wins in the end after these 3 movies. I really liked it. In the 2003 special edition, you don't get to see the chest burster. You just get to see Ripley kind of fall into the flames at the end of the movie. So once again, depending on which cut of the movie you watch, you're going to see different endings for those 2, but really like the kind of finality of the end of Alien 3. The bad, what I didn't like about Alien 3, there is some terrible CGI stuff, terrible puppet, kind of rod puppet stuff with the alien involved here. Again, this was 1991 when this was filmed, 92 when it was released. Early 90s kind of CGI composite stuff. It looks terrible. All the stuff with the alien in the suit, Tom Woodruff, as I mentioned earlier on, that looks fantastic, but the CGI and the kind of rod puppet stuff looks bad. I just talked about the 2 different endings to the movie there, and unfortunately the CG shots are terrible. We get kind of Ripley falling back into this kind of massive fireball that just looks really, really bad, looks terrible. And they spoke about in the documentary, in the making of, that they were just rushed. They ran out of time and they needed to finish this movie quick for its release date. So it just results in the end shots of the movie looking bad, no matter which cut you look at. Terrible end shots to the movie. One thing that's always bothered me about Alien 3 ever since the first time I saw it is when the kind of big explosion happens in the prison through the hallways, where they're kind of going around with these buckets of the kind of flammable liquid and they're kind of putting it everywhere with mops. The kind of scene where the bucket kind of falls and then we get the kind of the flare, I guess, fall. It's a really nice slow motion looking shot of this flare that's going to kind of hit and ignite. The bucket, it just, there's something about that shot that just looks to me from a kind of projection point of view, you know, running stuff in the wrong lens. It looks like it's in the wrong lens. It's the wrong aspect ratio. It looks to me like the shot has been kind of squashed down and it just always looks wrong to me. Whenever I watch Alien 3, it always looks wrong. Another thing that kind of, you know, I didn't like about the movie is the script was messy and ever changing. The movie was filming without a completed script. You know, they had a director who was fired. They brought Fincher in. Sets were being built. Young, first-time director Fincher. Fincher wasn't about to take 20th Century Fox shit either. So, you know, there's this kind of war between the studio and the director. And ultimately, Fincher would never have anything to do with this movie after its theatrical release. Coming in at number 2 on my ranking here is Jim Cameron's Aliens from 1986. Loose plot of this one is Ripley is kind of rescued way off course, way into the future when they realise that colonists have now been living on the planet LV-426 where the original events of Alien took place. The colonists kind of stop communicating and there is a team of Marines sent out to investigate with Ripley on board as a consultant. The good, let's talk about everything I liked about Aliens here. Action-packed sequel, really cool. James Cameron takes the original idea of Alien, makes it bigger and badder and better. What a blockbuster Aliens is. I really enjoyed this as a kid because you have Marines in space killing aliens with really cool guns. The smart guns that Drake and Velasquez has are really cool. I remember loving this movie as a kid. The power loader and the alien queen fight, need I say anymore. So coming in at number 1, my favourite in the Alien franchise, I'm wearing a t-shirt guys, it's the original Alien from 1979, directed by Ridley Scott. Loose plot on this one, truckers in space encounter an SOS signal and they're in a battle for their life with a mysterious alien. The good, what I liked about Alien here, really cool, there had been nothing like this at the time. It was brilliantly done, brilliantly executed. Ridley Scott done a fantastic job on this one. The alien looked amazing. The design by Giger was fantastic. Like, there had been nothing like this ever before. You know, talk about a guy in a rubber suit. Like, this was just another level of that kind of horror special effects stuff. Really fantastic. Cannot say anything bad about Alien here at all. So there you go guys, that is my ranking of the Alien movie franchise. I really enjoyed revisiting the movies here. I checked out the Alien Anthology here. I have this cool kind of Blu-ray box set here. There's some fantastic making of documentaries on there. Highly recommend if you're looking for copies of these to pick up. 4K of Alien looks fantastic. That's the one I watched there. And AVP, I have DVDs and Blu-rays of those movies as well as Prometheus and Alien Covenant. So I would like to invite you guys to let me know in the comments what you think. What is your ranking of these movies? Do you agree with this ranking? What is your ranking? Do you count AVP in the movie franchise here like I did? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to get notified when I post new videos. Stay safe and I will see you guys on the next one.